Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with this hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
Welcome back in. It's another week. We're inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Charles Bishop, Wilton Jackson II, my co-host. Sir. Yes, indeed. What's going on, good brother?
It's going good, Charles. What about yourself?
I am not complaining loudly. Nobody listens. So, anyway, it is all good. Welcome to episode 508 of Inside HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora and all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. We're filming from our home studios and sending the signal to our KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Wilton,
yes.
The week that was HBCU sports, man. There was a lot of jam-packed stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. We got softball, we got baseball. Of course, we're going to throw a little hodgepodge in there. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. But I tell you what, man, it's been a lot going on in regards to a lot of HBCU sports this past week, brother.
It has. I mean, I was just thinking, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about track and field and the championships with that. And then, like, before you knew it, last week was softball. And softball, it was, you might have thought one team was going to come in and dominate to a degree. I was one of those people that thought, I was like, man, Prairie View might be on the cusp of getting another championship. And then I was like, oh, man, like, Prairie View's out. That like, what, first, second day?
It was topsy-turvy, man. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, whoa.
I was like, did I read
that? I rubbed my eyes. I was like, nah, this. No.
And so when I saw that, but you know what it did though? It really goes back to the fact of what we were talking about more so in baseball. You talk about that parity, and I think you kind of saw a lot of that throughout the season too. And it really does help when you have teams that may not have had the best outings in the regular season, but then when you get hot at the right time, Charles, it doesn't matter what you did during the regular season. It matters with the game on the line. You talk about, I know we're getting into this more, but like you talk about the Jackson State softball team. They lost to FAMU twice, right?
Yeah,
and had to beat them twice in the tournament to get the title.
And I always say, in a tournament setting, anything can happen.
Right.
And this is definitely what we saw in regards to the softball tournament. But man, we'll get into that. I mean, we have some great guests lined up. We're going to talk a little bit of Black College World Series. We're going to talk with Executive Director Michael Coker. So a lot of great stuff to get to.
Excuse me.
Go for it, Eddie.
I need to interrupt you for a second. How's everybody doing? I'm back behind the stage producing. Charles, I need to take a point of special privilege.
Go for it.
You've been called to the carpet.
About what this time?
Uh-oh.
You've got a visit from the provost. He's at the door.
Oh my goodness!
We're waiting on him to come in.
When the dean gets ready to come on in, it might be
you got to be your best behavior.
I don't know. I don't know if he's doing a grade check, a record check. Make sure that you've been following the syllabus as appropriate.
I made sure I got my grades in today because today was the deadline. So you had to get them grades in by today. So I wanted to make sure all that was in place. So. Oh man, getting called to the carpet early from the dean.
Getting called to the carpet early. Maybe having some connectivity issue. The president may have must have hit the dean on the cell phone while you're waiting.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for Dr. Cavil, it looks like he's going to come in. I want to start things off, and this is a bit of a somber note. And this comes to us from HBCU Sports, Albany State Community, SIAC. They mourn the loss of student athlete Mariam Creighton. And this is a tragedy that touched Albany State athletics. Albany State volleyball player Mariam Creighton was one of two people fatally wounded during a shooting on Sunday morning at an Atlanta area nightclub. And this is a statement from Albany State Athletic Director Kristen Kelly. We're heartbroken over the loss of Mour. What a beautiful soul. Albany State Ramley is devastated by this news. Our thoughts are with Mour's loved ones. And this was a post that was on Twitter, formerly or X, formerly known as Twitter. And this is a statement here from her high school coach, John Holliday. Where Creighton was a standout player. Mariam was just an all-around great young lady that will truly be missed. And anytime this happens, this is something that we back up, and it puts things in perspective, if you will.
Oh, absolutely. Like anytime you lose anybody, it's not something you want to deal with, but especially an athlete at an HBCU, not something that you think about. Like I always tell even the athletes that I have in my classes, like I know you're playing in your respective sports, but always take care of yourself. No matter where you go, it is during the week, because you just never know what happens. Like I say that from a space of like, even my own mom in my teenage years, and even in college, you ever had those memories where your parents would tell you, just be careful. And you thinking like, man, like mom, dad, like I hear you, I understand it. And it takes one thing to happen, and then it's somebody that's close to you, and then it's like, man, like, oh, my eyes are open. So you have to always just be on your P's and Q's about everything.
No doubt. So, we definitely want to send thoughts and prayers to not only the Albany State family, but to Mour Creighton's family as well. So, definitely want to send thoughts and prayers in that direction. Is Doc still trying to get in, AD?
Yeah, he had to go switch devices to get in. So, I'm going to let you guys continue on while he goes figure out this device. But I do want to say this. I do live in the Albany area. And they were running it on WAOB, which is the local NBC affiliate down here in Albany. A story on the young lady, and because I do live in the Albany area, I've done a lot of work over there. Matter of fact, I think I did every home volleyball match this year, helping them out with that. So I'm very familiar with that team. Coach Bernice Graham, the head volleyball coach over there.
Sure. So
it's just a devastating, and Wilton. I didn't understand what Mama was saying. Be careful until I started having my own.
Yep.
And when your kids go out, and then you like, be careful, son. Be careful, daughter. And they be like, Dad, but Dad. Yeah. Now I understood what that gut feeling with moms that like, I don't think you need to go out tonight, baby.
Yep.
We've all had those feelings.
We've all had those days, exactly. Big news hit this afternoon, and this is big in that football is never far away from us, and we'll be at SWAC Media Day in just like that. And here's
just
the
like that.
Just like that.
Gentlemen. You know you're rusty when you can't even find a way to get into your own show. Something wrong with me.
I mean, your name only in the jingle in the title. So.
Right.
I gotta understand. Did y'all put me out like that already? You talking about the takeover?
I know, right?
Welcome to the team, Mr. Jackson II.
I appreciate it, Dr. Cavil.
No, we're gonna get you on here regular. You've been doing a great job, even though you can't remember the outro.
I can't. I'm still
it has me rolling.
I need an extra lick.
Drew, if you would go ahead and play the video of why I want to be here. The surprise Charles. I want to give him a little love and accolades, even though I'm glad he got his grades in. I was a little concerned about that.
Wait a minute. Here we go.
Gonna let Aquarius Tompkins see here with the base open at first.
Not really holding him on out there. And he takes off a third. Chopper back up the middle. Coward's going to come around. And Waters is going to complete the comeback. Oh, my goodness. Game-winning RBI to Aquarius Tompkins.
Ice in his veins. 11-2. extra innings. Edward Waters saw everything in these first 3 games so far. Fought to keep a lead against Florida Memorial. Nearly fought to come back yesterday against Bluefield State. And they will be advancing here in the Black College Baseball World Series.
I just want to say congratulations there, Charles, with the call. You know, I'm going to take off my provost had an asked request for grades. I'm going to give you a grade back in the classroom with professor. I'm going to give you an A-. It was really solid. Your chest came out there. The only reason I took away a couple of points is, you know, in my class, there's no perfection. So just because I'm not going to give you your A or your A+, I'm going to give you A-. I
already know.
Just because I want to keep you improving on this. But I don't want to be too disruptive. I know you got a full show, so I'll keep it quick. But I did want to say this. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that news broke, and you talked about it a little football. I think you were going to go there in some ways with the announcement of the marquee matchups of top college football programs to be featured on ESPN and ABC in week 0 and week 1. Obviously, I noticed, I'm sure everybody else noticed, that the MEAC SWAC Challenge that is coming on in week 0, second year in a row, is a prime time game with FAMU of the SWAC, Norfolk State of the MEAC, featured in this game at 7 o'clock prime time on Saturday. I just want us to make sure we recognize how big that is when you're amongst these other institutions that some people will say are better branded institutions. That's a whole different discussion. But you talk about the fact that you're on the marquee, you know, that same weekend with the programs such as Florida State, Georgia Tech in Dublin, obviously FAMU in Norfolk State. This is the same weekend. The week after that, obviously, you have Notre Dame, Texas A&M. So you're part of these legendary programs in terms of kicking things off. TCU, Stanford, across the board, Miami, Florida, even with that new game day announcement. And the fact that you got the SWAC, the MEAC, FAMU, Norfolk State in the mix of this is really significant. So I wanted to make sure we brought that to the table and just kind of kicked off things after I tugged and teased a little bit at my partner, getting it done. Keep up the great work. Again, I won't hold you long, but I would be remiss if I didn't put those two things together. And thank you, 80 Drew, for finding a way to make this work. Surprising Charles, and I wanted to give him his accolades as he do without telling him. So, Charles, I owe you. So this weekend, it's on me because, you know, usually I can't hold anything, but I was going to find a way to get you on this one.
For sure. You got me on that one, Doc. Looking forward to it this weekend.
Hey, Doc, before you go, I just got to ask, is that a new office that you're in, my brother?
Yes, this is the studio office I have. It's in between as I shifted from the associate dean's office of academic affairs to the dean's office as I'm serving now, which is one of the reasons why I asked Charles and Mike, now Wilton, as well as yourself, to step up in terms of that. Kyle Mosley, Brandon will be on this week debuting, as my time has been conservative of trying to make sure that we do what's right by the College of Education here at Texas Southern University in my capacity serving as the interim dean. Had my first graduation weekend, got on the stage and tried to do my thing to make sure we celebrated the students that were exiting and earning their degrees this past weekend. So in all seriousness, I just want to say thank you for what you all are doing to make sure that the Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop continues to not only exist but thrive. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. I always appreciate it when the dean stops in and talks to the class. So
Hey, he made me a little nervous when he came in. I'm just so bad.
I just want to shout out the lab listeners out there. Appreciate y'all for doing all the work and keeping it going. Brandon King, he'll be on here Thursday. We're going to test him out and see what his chops are made of as he gets to take the next steps as we will, we no longer pledge in Hayes, but, we're going to take him through the ring.
Yeah, we no longer pledge in Hayes. Yes, correct. Thank you, Doc.
All right, take care.
At least on the public.
Yes, indeed. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
And welcome back in to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We have none other than Coach Kevin Montgomery of the SWAC champion, Jackson State University Tigers. Welcome in, Coach. Unmute yourself, Coach.
You hear me now?
Go. Oh, yeah, we got you. We got you.
I said, how you doing, man? I like that shirt you got on, man. You know?
I had to, throw something on today, things of that nature. Well, first time in 13 years, and I'm going to start with the obvious question. How sweet is it to bring back a title to Jackson, Mississippi?
Oh, man, it's bittersweet, man. That's the reason Ashley Robertson brought me here, is to win championships. He got me here. He knew I could win games. But the ultimate goal at Jackson State is to bring home that hardware.
You said a mouthful because, we joke and laugh, but the standard over there is what the standard is. And for you to add to the hardware, I think, you can run for a city council seat right about now. You know that.
Not for real.
Go for it.
I had to do it, man. Like all the female groups has been winning. And I was the only one. I needed to bring it up at the beginning of the year. He gave us a big spiel about finish. And those T-shirts we had, he's like, man, you right there every year. I just need you to finish, So I stuck that T-shirt up in the dugout almost every week. Like, yeah, we're here now. We just got to make sure we get the job done.
No doubt. Go for it, Will.
Coach Montgomery, we talked briefly before back in like 19 or 20, right before I was getting ready to start with Sports Illustrated. You might not remember my face like that, but like Charles, I'm connected to Jackson State too. I gotta say this first before I ask you any question. The way you jumped when you I gotta ask, like what was going through your mind at that exact moment?
Man, at the end of those games, it's just so hard. You over there and all the emotion is all bogged up, and you're just like, come on, man, let's just get this out. And as soon as we get it, we're going to tear this field up. Like, this is what we've been trying to do the whole time. And I promise you, man, the first out, I had girls in the dugout, like, behind me trying to push us out there. Like, come on, let's get these outs. And it came out, man, and we worked so hard. We almost like we practiced to be champions. And we was, just trying to just sever the moment and then live in it, man, because this is an exciting thing.
Absolutely. And with any championship season, there's always going to be, series of adversities that you face throughout the regular season. And obviously Jack State was no team that hadn't had those situations, of course. So what did you constantly tell your team to help them navigate through some of these adversities? Because I was talking to Charles, having to beat FAMU twice, having lost to them during the regular season in those two series. How did you navigate that?
Well, it wasn't about beating FAM. I think all year, FAM and I knew that we were the better two teams. Mm-hmm. And she just really, you say she beat me in the regular season. Really, we kicked their behinds in the regular season. They just got the better of the games. The first series at home, we had girls pledging. We had the reveal day, and the girls were just so excited about. You get in the spring, you get so many things happen that distracts the kids from being athletes. They want to be kids now. They want to be. They don't want to just be the student athlete no more. They want to be students. So that Saturday kind of just really took a toll on us, and I didn't think nobody could ever beat us twice in a day, and they just came to play, and they beat us twice in that day, and we just didn't recover. But we knew that we'll see FAM again. It's only one pitcher you got to beat. You just got to keep going, and we did that.
Coach, let me ask this question because there's always a turning point within a season. Was there anything within the course of the season where you thought, if we can just get to the tournament, we know we're going to make some hay?
Like you say, man, we had so many starting from January. We lost two pitchers, and we were down to just one, and then we had the transfer that came in that just hadn't been tested. We just didn't know how she was going to, be able to handle the rigorous of being in an HBCU on an HBCU team, and the speed of the kids, and just the noise that they talk all day. And in January, we put our heads down. I was like, well, this is how we're going to roll. And, we had enough kids that had been there enough to have the experience to be able to help the ones that had not had the experience to kind of, grab them and say, this is the route we got to take. And in order for us to be successful, we got to make sure we hold tight to that and carry it throughout the season. And like you said, adversities, man, all kinds of stuff happens, disgruntled kids, and it just happens. You just got to, the next person's up, if she's not coming back, the next person that wants to play, we just got to keep going, because I can't go to my boss and say, well, I ain't got enough kids now, so what we're going to do about playing? We're going to have to continue to fight. And we did that, man. And you say when, I think it started in our very, 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 very first tournament when Texas Corpus Christi came in here, and they were a good team, and then girls were just like, wow, it's Texas Corpus Christi, and we were down 7 runs in the 7th and came back and beat them, and it was like, we really have something special because these kids really are fighting together.
Sure. Tournament MVP Jace Jackson. Talk about her play and what she was able to get done over the weekend.
She's one of those kids that wants it really, really bad. Like she's there every day working hard. She gives 110%, and we can give a lot of credit to Jace Jackson, but she has a good core group that they all work so hard, and they push each other so hard. So they are all happy to see her thrive and get the accolades that she deserves. Like it doesn't make sense that she performs every week and we barely get recognition for it. So she was determined that I don't care about that, coach. I just want to win this thing. I want the big heart where I want to bring it home, and then they'll have to recognize us.
Wilton, you did a tremendous job of setting up this interview, man. Close us out.
Coach, I want to ask you this. I know Charles asked about Jace. I want to ask you about Mari Stevens. You talk about it always seems like she's able to make a play when it's time to make a play. Could you talk a little bit about her?
She's our veteran leader. She's only a junior. Like, she might look like she's been here for 4 years, but she's only a junior, and she's just that leader. She doesn't talk much, and she's the captain. She didn't talk much. She doesn't fuss at you a lot. She just want to get it done. So that's her thing. I can't, coach. I can't help you with all these attitudes, but I can tell you this: once we get on the field, we're all going to be there, and we're all going to get it done. And she just thrives in those moments when the pressure is tough and thick, and it's her up the bat, we all can sit back and be like, well, let's see what Mariam's going to do now, because she always comes through in that clutch time.
Absolutely. And in that moment, you have an opponent coming up in LSU in the tournament starting on Friday. What was your message to your team once you found out your opponent, and what are you looking forward to the most in starting the tournament?
You know what? They had messages for me. This is one group that is not backing down. At practice today, all they could talk about was LSU this and LSU that, and we get to LSU and with this, and it's a really, really good spirited group right now going into it. And I won't be surprised if we win a game. I won't be surprised if we get out there and shock the world. But I think
first time this has happened.
Yeah, I mean we've seen this happen with Jackson State baseball when he went to Louisiana Lafayette and shocked the world. That huge victory down there. But it does bring up an interesting question in terms of just the preparation to take on a team like LSU. The moment won't be too big for you all, correct?
No, it won't be too big. We went to Memphis and beat Memphis. So we've been battle tested when it comes to being in. The only difference is, to me, is we're going to be in a very, very good stadium. We're going to be in a big stadium. We're going to have more fans, and the field is going to be immaculate. It's just going to be laid out. It's going to be like, a very, very nice environment. We just got to go play softball. That's all we have to worry about, is going to handle our business.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you coming in. Don't be a stranger. You always have a home here on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Whenever you want to talk Jackson State softball, tell Travis Jerome I owe a mistake. Thank you for coming in. And whenever I come home, I need to catch up with Ashley, play a little golf. So I'll do all that.
Sounds good.
Appreciate you coming in, Coach.
All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
No doubt. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Charles Bishop and Wilton Jackson.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm. Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Hey, welcome back to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Charles Bishop, Wilton Jackson, and I tell you what, man, Coach Kevin Montgomery, tremendous job in terms of what Jackson State was able to do in that SWAC softball tournament. Congratulations once again, phenomenal performance.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And just thinking about some of the teams they had to go through, FAMU, Alabama State. Like I said, we talked about this at the top of the show. The parity in the SWAC is not only in just some of the more signature sports, but it's starting to be spread down and twinkled into some of the other sports as well. So kudos to Jackson State and just for within SWAC softball in general. Not
to be outdone, I want to make sure we mention this with Morgan State. Mm-hmm. They won the 2024 MEAC softball championship after going through the consolation bracket to reach the championship game on Saturday. The top-seeded Lady Bears of Morgan State defeated number 3 Coppin State twice to win the 2024 MEAC softball title. So congratulations to Morgan State for winning the MEAC softball title.
Right. Absolutely.
No doubt. Well, we're waiting on our next guest, Michael Coker, who is the president, executive director, founding member of the Black College World Series. Talk a little bit about the Black College World Series. Did want to stop and talk about, and Doc talked about just the significance. Like you said, we are always talking football on here, but the significance of FAMU and Norfolk State being on prime time. Saturday kicking things off. This is huge for the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge. And John Grant, a tremendous job once again of putting HBCU football front and center.
Oh, absolutely. George, you're talking about, how we always talk about with the Celebration Bowl. This not only affects football, this affects these institutions that are playing on the field. We talk about enrollment to these institutions potentially being increased just by the visibility that they're going to get in playing on an ABC. So you're going to get people that will, they may have known about FAMU or they may have known about Norfolk State, but now they may learn a little bit more just by virtue of saying on week 0, before the first official week of the football season, we get a chance to learn and see these two particular schools, just like some of the other schools that Dr. Cavil rattled off, Texas A&M, Georgia. Like we talking about prominent schools throughout college football that are
branded schools within the lexicon of college athletics. And you have HBCU football right there in the thick of things, right in the mix when you talk about Florida A&M and Norfolk State, and just the significance of HBCU football on ABC in general, the eyeballs. My goodness, this is huge when you take a look at it in a prime time, 7:30 kickoff from Atlanta. This is going to be, I think you can't, say enough about how significant it is.
Absolutely. And then you even start talking about the schools. Now, granted, Norfolk State hasn't necessarily had the best of years in terms of football per se, but you get a FAMU team where we know where the SWAC is going to be wide open right now. So a lot of people are going to want to know, what does this FAMU team look like with a new coach leading the way? And what is Norfolk State going to look like in terms of, does North Carolina Central still own the MEAC? Does Howard still have a stronghold on the MEAC? Will this be the difference in a year? Will Norfolk State be able to pull, and stand out before some of those other schools? So it's going to definitely be interesting to see. A lot of storylines will come from this too.
No doubt. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back here on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Charles Bishop, Wilton Jackson. We got some more takes coming.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back in here to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Charles Bishop and Wilton Jackson. Wilton, we can go in a myriad of different directions here. I want to mention, and we're trying to run down Michael Coker here for the segment, but Bluefield State, they won the Black College World Series title. And I have to say this, I saw some tremendous, exciting baseball with these teams that were represented down there. Florida Memorial, Edward Waters, talking about, of course, Bluefield State, Miles College, probably the most exciting game that I got to watch. And Doc really surprised me with the call there. But I was doing play-by-play down there. But Edward Waters, they played one of the most phenomenal games that I've seen, fighting back from 11-2. And they literally scored 9 runs over the last 3, maybe 4 innings or something to that effect, sent it into extra innings. And then, of course, you have me on the call there where they win it in extra innings. But a lot of great baseball being played down there. And then you have the Talladega Tornadoes. They're playing in the NAIA tournament now. But I really enjoyed everything about it this past weekend.
Charles, before I even say anything about the game, when I saw the clip, the way your voice went from normal Charles to excitement, we went to 1,000. I said, now that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Oh, man, let me tell you, the energy, you could feel the energy. It was starting, and you were trying to think, like, could this really happen? Like, could they really come back from 9 runs in the last few innings? Because, I mean, when I say it was amazing to be a part of that call, it was tremendous to be a part of that call. Shout out to Josh Johnson, people down at Edward Waters. I really appreciate a lot of the things that he was able to send to me this past weekend with regards to the team. But I mean, it was a lot of excitement, and hopefully we can run down Michael Coker and we can talk a little bit about Black College World Series. But while I have you right here, brother, you know, going into the weekend, I can't lie. Yeah. I really thought we were going to write the demise of the Denver Nuggets. And
yikes. I don't know why y'all was trying to write them off. I already knew this series, this would be too good.
I feel so stupid.
And I guess for me, I just look at it from a standpoint. We've seen similar storylines like this before. Again, you still have to play the games, and you have to still leave it at that. There's some wiggle room there. But in my 31 years of watching sports, I'm thinking to myself, this is not about to be a sweep. Now, I'm not going to say that they weren't playing as if they could not have been swept, because they could have been swept the way that they were playing. But in my gut said to me, I don't know if they win 2 games in Minnesota. I don't know if Denver wins 2 games in Minnesota, but they are definitely taking 1. And so after that first game, I said, okay, this looks like, when I saw Jamal Murray hopping off one leg to hit shots, hitting fadeaways, like with no stress in that calf, I said, this is Jamal Murray that we expected back in game 2.
And what happened to Rudy Gobert? Like, what's the point of being defensive player of the year? You're going to get, bodied up and beat up and this, that, and the other, and you aren't a defensive presence.
But that's y'all defensive player of the year. I didn't vote. My vote ain't in none of that.
Yeah, I feel you. And then, the Knicks, man.
Yeah.
They are the walking wounded right now. If it ain't Jalen Brunson doing everything and selling popcorn in the stands too, they ain't.
But you know, when I think about the Knicks, and I have to mention, and I think it goes without saying, the play of Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart. I do think that it's going to take a full combination of the three, and then still some help for them to potentially to win this series. But if it comes down to just Brunson, it might be hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be hard.
So, okay, I've written down Boston in the Eastern Conference Championship. And
my vote is still gonna. I still have Boston going all the way.
I mean, can they legitimately get a challenge from the Knicks or Indiana?
I think they can get a challenge, and the only reason I say that is because we just saw a game from Boston where they went 8 of 25 from three. And they look terrible. And Boston, one thing about Boston, and I hate whoever my Boston Celtics fans out here, that's the one thing that always makes me nervous about Boston. When they're on, they are on. Whether it's from the 3-point line, whether Jason Tatum is hitting the fadeaways or going baseline, or Jaylen Brown is doing his thing, everybody's clicking. But when they're not making threes, it's like they are not the same team in any aspect.
Yeah, great point. And then probably the series that's probably the most evenly matched to me is Oklahoma City and Dallas. I know where they're seated, but I mean, when you look at the talent that's out on the court, nobody's stopping SGA.
No, you are seeing some elite level playmaking too.
Oh my God, that's where I was going. Like the playmaking that you're seeing in this series. I mean, the ability to get their shots off whenever they want to get their shots off. When Kyrie is in that Kyrie zone, is Mamba-esque,
absolutely. And one thing about Kyrie that I sometimes, when I look at defenders defending him, it's like if he gets that first step on you, it go into the hole. It really doesn't matter what you do to try to get back in defense to try to get in front of him. If he's going to the rack for a layup, 9 times out of 10, if I had to put some money on somebody making a layup with defense and everybody around him, I'll put my money on Kyrie because you're probably not going to stop him from making a layup.
No doubt about it. AD's just sent me an update here. Talladega's trailing 5-4 in the bottom of 7 in the NAIA tournament. So want to make sure I got that information out there. So we'll take another quick break. We'll be right back with some, final hodgepodge of things. Wherever you want to go, Wilton, take it there. We'll run with it. We'll be right back here on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
So welcome back inside the HBCU Sports Lab, and a couple quick notes here. Michael Coker will not be able to come in tonight. He had a family emergency, so I definitely want to send thoughts and prayers to Michael Coker, Executive Director of Black College World Series. I will be remiss. I want to mention again, Bluefield State baseball wins the Black College World Series. This is the first HBCU team to win 2 Black College World Series, and tremendously after they fell behind Talladega, the Big Blue faced Edward Waters in the night game. Big Blue used 2 5-run innings to push past Edward Waters 12-7. Then a huge game, a championship game against Talladega, where they came out on top and beat a very, very strong, very powerful Talladega baseball team, a team that received an invitation to the NAIA tournament. Tell you how good Talladega is. They had a 522 hitter in their lineup. So, to take down Talladega, that was doing something. So, kudos to Bluefield State for pulling it off. I also want to mention, we've been talking about softball. I want to talk about Stillman College. They make HBCU history in an NAIA softball tournament. 3 runs in the 5th and 6 runs in the 5th and 6th innings propelled Stillman into the record books in a 7-3 win over Indiana University Southeast at the NAIA opening round. So it was not only a historic win, it's Stillman's first NAIA tournament victory in the program history, but the first ever victory by Stillman in an NAIA softball tournament. So kudos to Stillman. Matches its single season program wins record that they set last year. So kudos to Stillman for getting it done thus far in the NAIA tournament. Wilton, the floor is yours, man. Where do you want to go?
Man, I think the way that we end the show, talk about some of these NFL headlines, man. Obviously the NFL schedule, the full schedule will come out later on this week. I think it's tomorrow, right? 15th?
Does come out, yes, indeed.
I feel like and you just kind of alluded to it, like Charles. I feel like we talk about football all the time, like it never stops. In the NFL, it never stops. And I think of course, like any other year, it's going to be a year of a lot of storylines. I know I just thought about last week. You think about the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, and you remember how Lamar came in big to training camp, and now he's going to be Slim Lamar. Coming in, I'm thinking like if he was that big and still running and doing all the things he was doing, it's like I'm kind of scared for defenses this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
You mean he done added a step? That's scary.
Yeah, it is. And you just think about some of these other teams, man. Buffalo, of course, that'll look different with wide receiver. I forget his name right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, my guy has been making all the headlines every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Buffalo will look different this year. Of course, the Chiefs will be the Chiefs. We'll get a chance to see what the Eagles will look like again this year. I'm a Saints fan, so I'm really anxious to see what this team is gonna look like. I can't really say how many wins they'll get right now, because I probably will be wrong. But at the same time, I would like to see them at least, keep it a little bit more competitive this time around this year. But we'll see. Of course, there's a lot of things. Right now, we're just in mini camps and things like that.
And I am the quintessential delusional Cowboys fan who expects the Cowboys to be in the Super Bowl every year.
Well, you know what? We have to send some special prayers up for Dak to make sure that he hears these things.
Yes, indeed. As always, you got to send up the prayer for Dak, no doubt. Also, man, WNBA kicking things off. I think opening games tonight.
Yep. Opening games tonight. The Aces play tonight. The Atlanta Dream play tomorrow. The Connecticut Sun, I think, are playing right now. I think they're playing the Fever.
It's over my shoulder. Yeah, I see.
Yep. And then, so they get a chance to get the Caitlin Clark craze. I was looking at Twitter, and apparently Alyssa Thomas, the forward for the Connecticut Sun, must have introduced Caitlin Clark to the WNBA today. And so what I mean by that, Caitlin Clark might have. I didn't see the play, but apparently I saw some people on Twitter tweeting about something that happened. I said, "Oh, if she got introduced to the WNBA from Alyssa Thomas, she got a nice warm welcome."
She ain't get the elbow early, did she?
I don't think she got an elbow, but I definitely feel like she got a nice welcome to the WNBA.
No doubt. AD Drew sends us update. Stillman softball, they lost today 6-3. So I wanted to make sure I made mention of that. Hey man, we flew through another show, man. Great guest in terms of talking to Kevin Montgomery, going through various news and notes around HBCU stratosphere. And again, FAMU, Norfolk State, Primetime, SWAC MEAC Challenge. Hats off, John Graham, for everything that you've done with regards to not just HBCU football, but college football in general.
Exactly.
Well, I tell you what, that'll wrap us up for another Tuesday edition of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. For Wilton Jackson, Charles Bishop.
I'm going to get it right.
You know how we close things out. Course.
Lecture.
Dismissed.
There we go. See y'all next week.
All right.
About damn time.